Hello, this is Lilian, welcoming you to the 2009th edition of the Enfield Talking Newspaper, Dateline the 16th of July 2015. The readers this week are Joan, Rod and myself, Lilian, with Colin on the controls. The items that we will be reading come from our local newspapers, the Enfield Gazette and Advertiser and the Enfield Independent, and are their copyright. Our title music is Country Rock Polka, composed by Pat Priddy, Fernand Boulon, Harry Brewer, and performed by Jean-Jacques Perry, and is used with his kind permission. Local stories include Budget will hit families, claim MPs. Urgent care to go on despite move. And woman supporting areas sight impaired. If you are experiencing any problems receiving your Enfield Talking newspaper, please phone Diane de Jersey on 0208 805 6578. She is your listener's representative and she will be pleased to help you. And now Joan will read the first item of local news.
A woman left broken by her visual impairment aims to inspire others not to give up. Shadeen Rose, 54, is working on a social media service called Action Connect to help people suffering from visual impairments to share their stories and their techniques for dealing with specific problems. In her current job with Action for Blind People, Ms. Rose talks to people suffering from sight loss, sharing her story with them. When working as a legal secretary to a local authority in Edmonton in 1990, Ms. Rose was diagnosed with iritis, an inflammation of the iris on her left eye. She would later discover in 2013 that her sarcoidosis, a condition causing red and swollen tissue in the body, was the main cause of her sight loss. And having to attend many appointments to help with her condition, Miss Rose was unable to do her job. Miss Rose said, "I was broken. I was getting in a financial situation and I was threatened with losing my home." The King's House Church in Edmonton helped Miss Rose by spending her food vouchers, and she built some of her confidence back by volunteering to help the church and police in Enderby, Leicestershire, listening to victims as part of the Telephone Research Bureau. It wasn't until 2005 that she found Action for Blind through the National Institution for the Blind and studied a 6-month employment course. Ms. Rose added, "I received regular bulletins from the charity via Action Connect, telling me how I could get involved in shaping its services and asking for my opinions on new developments. It opens the world up for you." Ms. Rose is now helping people at Enfield Vision and hopes to carry out more support work.
The borough's 2 Labour MPs have responded to last week's budget, saying decisions made by the Tory government will hit residents hard. Some 6,400 working families in Enfield will be made worse off by cuts to tax credits, claimed Enfield North MP Joan Ryan. Chancellor of the Exchequer George Osborne announced that tax credits would be frozen for 4 years from April 2016, and the income threshold for the state benefit would be reduced from £6,420 to £3,850. Ms. Ryan said, "We have seen the real consequences of having a Conservative government. Working people will be left worse off. I know that we need to bring down the deficit and make savings to the welfare budget, but it is not right that thousands of families in Enfield North and millions more across the country are going to be penalised. Mr Osborne's budget is going to make life harder still for some of the lowest paid over the next 5 years. Ms Ryan added that Tory plans to introduce a new national living wage starting at £7.20 an hour in 2016 and increasing to £9 an hour by 2020 would have no positive impact on many low-paid workers given the planned cuts. Kate Ozimer, the MP for Edmonton, echoed the criticism. She said, "This budget is a further attack on the people of Edmonton and also a huge missed opportunity. We should be building an economy where people can get high-skilled and well-paid jobs by investing in infrastructure and training. But the government has dithered over infrastructure projects and is turning grants for low-income students into loans. This will push young people into more debt and will discourage them from getting educated."
Chase Farm Hospital's Urgent Care Centre will be relocated as the site undergoes redevelopment. The 12-hour-a-day service for minor injuries and illnesses will be located opposite the Hunters Way entrance to the hospital in Enfield overnight on August the 4th and will remain there until 2018 when the new buildings are complete. Other services will also be moved to the site between July the 20th and August the 6th. David Sloman, Chief Executive of the Royal Free London, which took over the running of the hospital last summer and is now redeveloping the site, said, "We will be carrying out these moves in a way that will have minimal impact on patients. For example, we are moving the urgent care centre overnight so that it will remain fully open on the days immediately before and after its relocation. The services and dates of relocation include Older Persons Assessment Unit, July the 20th, Sleep and Lung Functions Clinic, July the 22nd, Rheumatology Outpatients, July the 23rd, Blood Clinic, July the 24th, Urgent Care Centre, August the 4th, Paediatric Assessment Unit, August the 4th, Paediatric Outpatients, August the 4th, GP Out-of-Hours Service, August the 5th, Antenatal Clinic, August the 6th, Gynecology and Colposcopy Clinic, August the 6th. For more information about hospital services affected by the works, visit www.royalfree.nhs.uk.
Drizzle didn't dampen the spirits of those who turned out for the latest proms in the park in Palmer's Green on Sunday. Despite overcast conditions, more than 150 people jigged and jived their way to Broomfield Park in Alderman's Hill to see a range of musicians perform. Singer-songwriter Luke Carey, who has reached the top 10 in the iTunes chart, took to the stage as part of a program that also included a harpist and sea shanties. Carl Brown, one of the organisers, said there was a really great range of music on offer. He said, "The weather was obviously a bit disappointing, but we still got well over 100 people, and those who came seemed to be having a great time." The free event was organised by the Friends of Broomfield Park group. The programme continues throughout July, and this Sunday's show will feature the Bella Cora Women's Choir, baritone Stephen Bryce, and flautist ensemble the Tatum Trio, and it takes place from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. The music is said to continue throughout August as the park plays host to Broomfield Blues 2015 with the Farmers Green Festival, and that will rounding things off on September the 6th. Organizer are seeking somebody with experience in the music industry to help find a pool of musicians for events in the future. You can find out all event details and get in touch with organisers through www.friendsofbroomfieldpark.org. Thank you.
A man who bravely confronted rioters at the peak of the 2011 London riots has been announced as the new Bishop of Edmonton. Reverend Rob Wickham, Hackney Area Dean and Rector of St John at Hackney, has been appointed to the role, a senior position in the Diocese of London. He became known as a hero of Hackney after confronting violent men and youths to come to the aid of an injured woman during the London riots 4 years ago. As Bishop of Edmonton, Reverend Wickham will oversee an area of the diocese that covers the boroughs of Enfield, Barnet, Haringey and Camden. The area has a population of more than 1.1 million. Speaking at the appointment, as the appointment was announced this week, he said, "North London and the Edmonton area contain people, places, churches and communities of great energy, diversity, challenge and opportunity. I am privileged and slightly daunted to be returning to the area to serve as bishop." He said he was looking forward to praying with, listening to and learning from communities in the area. Reverend Wickham has served as a rector at St John at Hackney since 2007, becoming Area Dean of Hackney in 2014. His work placed him at the forefront of re-energising the church in the area, said Bishop of London the Right Reverend Charles Chartis. Rob brings to the London team an enormous amount of experience and, in his 8 years in Hackney, he has helped to provide a distinctive Christian contribution to the regeneration of his community, added the Right Reverend Chartis.
A head teacher has praised staff and parents after Ofsted inspectors declared his school as good, bringing a 2-year improvement plan to a successful completion. Broomfield School in Wilmer Way, Southgate, was graded as requiring improvement in 2013. Since then, significant improvements have been made towards implementing a high-quality staff training program. A rise in student achievement in core subjects such as English and mathematics have also contributed to the school's rapid turnaround. Head Peter Travis is aiming to push the school towards an outstanding grade and thanked the enthusiasm of our students and the support from Enfield Council's School Improvement Service. He added, parents are supporting the school and making a big contribution to our growing reputation.
The first floor of a house in Upper Edmonton was badly damaged by a blaze at the weekend. More than 20 firefighters were called out to the fire in Aberdeen Road at 9:30 p.m. on Saturday. The crews from Edmonton, Tottenham and Walthamstow brought the blaze under control by 10:17 p.m. The roof of the home was also damaged in the fire, and investigators are looking into the cause of the blaze. Nobody was injured.
Bunches of beetroot and brightly coloured marrows covered in a thin layer of the soil are displayed for sale less than a 5-minute walk from where they were grown. In a bright, airy farm shop, the harvest is poured over by visitors to Forty Hall Estate in Forty Hill, Enfield. As well as fresh vegetables, the farm on council-owned land that is connected with Capel Manor College produces meat from animals reared on the soil, and the vineyard is starting to bear fruit with the first few bottles of white wine. Behind jars of honey and handcrafted wooden spoons, farm manager Kate McGeever has a vision that is broader than simply making money from the current vogue for all things organic. We're keen for people to understand more about where their food comes from, she said. We want to know how it is produced and understand what organic farming is about. Part of her vision is the vegetable box scheme that was launched a year and a half ago, with local produce being bagged up and delivered to subscribers at 6 locations in the borough. Almost all the veg in the bags now is coming from Forty Hall, and we're up to about 70 subscribers, she said. Enfield Council, which funds the market gardening scheme on the farm through a portion of the regeneration fund it was awarded by the Mayor of London's office in the wake of the 2011 riots, has been criticised for squandering the money on a project that has produced 3 jobs. But Kate explains that while the scheme currently has 3 permanent members of staff, about 10 people have had employment opportunities over the course of the project. 2 apprentices have come through the scheme, and tens, if not hundreds, of students and volunteers have worked with us over the 2 years that we have been involved, she said. She says that it's important to think about the other producers we buy in from. Not only are we supporting the growers in Enfield, we are supporting producers all over the southeast of England, she added. There's a much bigger impact than just us. We have also had to develop the infrastructure of the farm to grow on a large scale, and throughout we have tried to support local companies. We bought from local companies, and so the money has stayed within the local economy. But can the model of Enfield as a vegetable basket of London be realised? Is it realistic to imagine that the production model developed by Kate and her team can be rolled out everywhere along Enfield's green belt? I can't see why not, says Kate. There's a huge amount of farmland all across Enfield, much of it council-owned. There is no reason why some of it can't be used for more directly for food production. There is also a huge amount of urban areas that could be used for food production.
A mosque has become London's first solar-powered building from the Islamic community after installing special panels on its roof. Palmer's Green Mosque in Oakthorpe Road has introduced new 15 kilowatt solar energy panels with the aim of converting natural sunlight to power the building. Funded by donations from worshippers and the general public, the mosque raised a total of £20,000 to complete the project. Sabir Sheikh, a trustee of the mosque, said it had managed to halve its electricity bill as well as maintaining a low carbon footprint. Speaking to the Advertiser, he said, cutting the electricity cost is only part of the reason for the switchover. Islamic principles suggest we care for the environment, and we hope the community follows suit. The mosque worked with local businesses to carry out the project. At least 25 places of worship in London, including churches and parish almshouses, have solar panels in place, but this is the first mosque to do so. Enfield has seen a surge in green energy, with solar panels being fitted at Enfield Civic Centre in Silver Street in 2013 as part of Enfield Council's 2020's sustainability programme.
A packed-out summer arts festival drew the crowds of the weekend at the Chicken Shed Theatre, placed creativity centre stage. Hundreds of people attended the family festival at the theatre in Chayside, Southgate, on Sunday. It featured music, theatre and dance by performers from Enfield and Barnet. Susan S. from Chicken Shed, an inclusive theatre company that has been in existence since 1974, said, "It was amazing. The place was jam-packed. The atmosphere was lovely and there were so many creative things happening. We hope this will become an annual event and look forward to next year. It showed that the boroughs of Enfield and Barnet are hives of creativity, and it was so lovely to bring people together in celebration of this. Susan added that standout performances included those from the Waltham Cross Ukrainian Youth Association and Platinum Performing Arts. So there.
An artist renowned for his lifelike sketches returned to his former school to donate 2 prized works. Kelvin Okafor gave delighted students and staff at St Ignatius College in Turkey Street, Enfield, 2 limited edition portraits and a signed catalogue. The 29-year-old has developed a reputation as a highly skilled pencil artist, winning multiple prizes for sketching iconic figures including Amy Winehouse, Nelson Mandela and Mother Teresa. His drawings are often mistaken for photographs due to the refined detail of his work, which adheres to a genre known as photorealism. Mr. Okafor's painstaking artwork has been known to go on sale for thousands of pounds. Executive head teacher Michael Kelly expressed his delight at the generosity of the talented artist, saying that the drawings will be displayed in the college for pupils to be inspired by. He said the whole school was moved to hear of the profound impression the college made on him. We are so proud of him and his inspirational artistic achievements. The Tottenham-based artist was a pupil at St Ignatius from 1998 to 2004, before going on to graduate in fine art at Middlesex University.
There were thrills and spills aplenty as hundreds of school pupils enjoyed a white-knuckle ride, white water rafting, and among the students having a splashing time riding the rapids at the Lee Valley Whitewater Centre's slalom course were youngsters from Lee Valley High School in Bullsmore Lane, Enfield. The centre hosted more than 500 students from London, Essex and Hertfordshire as part of the annual Schools Festival. Following in the footsteps of GB Gold and Silver Medal victories at London 2012, the event coincided with celebrating 10 years since London was awarded the Olympic Games. Derek Ashley, chairman of the Lee Valley Regional Park Authority, hailed the impact of students enjoying extreme water sports as a shining example of a successful sporting legacy. First opened in 2011, the centre in Waltham Cross boasts top-of-the-range facilities and activities for the public, including kayaking and canoeing.
Parents are very happy that a junior school and an infant school in Edmonton are being merged ahead of next term. Eldon Infant School will become an all-through primary school following the decision to discontinue Eldon Junior School. It comes 1 year after a poor Ofsted inspection said the junior school requires improvement. Eldon Infant School, which is run by the same trust as the junior school and lies adjacent to it in Eldon Road, was rated good at its last Ofsted inspection in 2012. A consultation with parents found they backed the proposal to urge the two schools. A spokesman for Enfield Council said, "They're very happy. It means that Eldon will be more cohesive with smooth transitions as children move through the school. The school will have one governing body and one budget. This is a positive move to provide clearer systems for education throughout the school, and it has been welcomed by parents and staff." The overall number of classes at the schools will remain the same, and the leadership and management operations will be unchanged.
A deal to buy a garden centre has been slammed after it was revealed that Enfield Council paid almost £50,000 more than the property was sold for at auction shortly beforehand. The authority paid £900,000 to buy Orchardside Nurseries 2 years ago, but the landowner who sold the site in Billsmore Lane to the council had bought it for £850,500 just 4 months earlier. The council had also bid at auction in March 2013, but was not willing to pay more than £850,000. It later paid nearly £50,000 more for the garden centre, but claims the difference in price can be accounted for by a new tenancy agreement signed as part of the deal, which meant it still provided value for money. A town hall spokesman said, "The council intends to provide a secondary tuition centre on the site. This site is the most suitable in the borough for this purpose, and this purchase represents good value for money to residents." The terms negotiated for the purchase included a new short lease to the nursery, which ensured the total cost to the council of holding the property were no greater than they would have been had the council purchased at auction. Ertan Hurer, the Conservative group's finance spokesman, claims the council overpaid for the site and criticised the town hall management. He said, "The property and finance departments at the council need to get a grip and stop wasting money. This deal is symbolic of their attitude and poor approach, as yet again they get rings run around them. People need to recognise that for all their bluster, this Labour-run council does have money and numerous assets. They are unfortunately being poorly managed."
A new age of ageing dawned as a fitness group launched its first session in a Palmer's Green park. Some of the borough's older generation were treated to a free class of Latin American dance and Nordic walking at Broomfield Park in Palmer's Green. Silverfit has launched the sessions that will take place at 10:30 a.m. every Friday at the park. Guests were also treated to tea, coffee and refreshments after the exercises, and heard from special guest Steve True, who is a world triathlon coach, commentator and journalist. He said, "I am delighted to be here today. We are in a new age of aging. Lives and expectations have changed massively, and getting older now is a new beginning. There is a life beyond retirement and opportunities to enjoy new activities. Anyone who is interested in taking part in the classes should call 07721 419 518. We have now reached the end of side 1 of this tape. Please stop your machine now, take out the cassette, turn it over and start side 2.